Hello everyone, this is the Sports Spiral, and in today's video I'm going to pick the Week 14 games from the NFL. We have some great matchups this week, so let's start out with the Thursday night game, which is about going to happen as I record this video. We've got the Patriots against the Rams, and both the Rams have been looking pretty good throughout the season. Nothing too spectacular, but pretty good. And then the Patriots, they've been up and down, but they had the big win against another Los Angeles team last week, a 45-0 win over the Chargers. But I don't think they can win this one. Jared Goff has not looked great this season, but they've got a good group of running backs there and a good defense to win this one. 28-24 Los Angeles Rams is my pick. Okay, let's move into the Sunday matchups. We have the struggling Jacksonville Jaguars against the Titans, a team that is doing pretty good and looking like they can make the playoff. But yeah, I think the Jags, they've been playing better the past few games, keeping some games close. But ultimately, I think they're going to start Mike Glennon again. They do need to start Minshew again to get some more explosivity and that kind of stuff. I think Minshew's a little better than Glennon. But I still think they can put up 27 points, but I just think the Titans offense with Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill, it's too good for them. So the Titans win this one 37-27. Okay, let's move on to the Chicago versus Houston game. Chicago has been struggling as of recently, and it's not all to blame on their offense. Yes, their offense has not been doing very good at all, but their defense has not been looking the best the past few weeks either, and I think that will lead them to another loss here. I've got the Texans 33-26. I just think they have the offensive advantage with Deshaun Watson, and yeah, it's time to rethink some stuff for Chicago. Okay, let's move on to the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Dallas Cowboys, two teams that aren't doing the best. But I like the Cowboys in this one, though their defense hasn't looked good. Their offense, it's been mediocre with Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton is going against his former team with the Bengals in this one. I just think with Ezekiel Elliott and Dalton, I think they can put up enough points to win this one. And their defense isn't the best, but they're going against the Bengals offense. So I've got the Cowboys 27-16. This shouldn't be too hard of a game for them if they can play good on offense. Okay, then we have the Chiefs, who are arguably the best team in the league now, taking on the Dolphins. This should be a pretty intriguing matchup. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. They've got Edwards-Helaire, a good running game too this year. And yeah, I think they can put up some points here, but they are going against a good Dolphins defense. So I've got 27 points for the Chiefs. And I just don't think the Dolphins can put up enough points to win this one. Yes, they have Tua, and he's been pretty good, just not quite good enough. Tua's going to have to develop over the next few years, and eventually the Dolphins could be bound for the Super Bowl, but it's not this year. I've got the Chiefs 27-21 this one. Okay, then next up we have the Cardinals versus the Giants. The Giants have looked pretty good here over the past few weeks, and the Cardinals have really been struggling. I've picked the Cardinals for I don't know how many times it's weeks in a row. It's like 5 weeks in a row now, and I'm like 1-4 or 0-5 with them. I'm really bad with when I pick the Cardinals. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna pick them again here. I've got the Cardinals 24-20. I think Kyler Murray puts up enough offense, but the Giants defense has been looking good. They only allowed Russell Wilson 12 points for the Seahawks. But I think Kyler Murray can get it done. and I just don't think this Giants offense with McCoy, its quarterback, can do enough offensively. So yeah, I've got the Cardinals in a close one there, 24-20. Okay, the Bucs are back for this week, and every team is going to be back for this week because we have, from now on, no bye weeks. So that is some really exciting stuff. We're going to get every matchup every week, pretty much. So, yeah, I think Tom Brady can get it done. He hasn't looked the greatest this season, throwing too many interceptions. But I think he can get it done versus a Vikings defense that is not very good. But the Vikings with Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook, they can definitely keep it close. 34-28 is my pick for that one. Two teams kind of fighting here to get in the playoff. Okay, then we have the Broncos versus the Panthers. Last week, the Broncos got their quarterbacks back. Remember, they were out of quarterbacks a few weeks ago. And yeah, I think it'll definitely help to have a quarterback, and they can win this one 26-23. The Broncos aren't anything great, but they can get it done versus a Panther team that does not have Christian McCaffrey for the game. I think that might be the difference. That's a reason why I picked the Broncos and not the Panthers. So yeah, I've got the Broncos getting it done 26-23. Okay, next up we have the Raiders versus the Colts. And the Raiders the past few weeks have not looked the greatest. The Colts have been looking pretty good recently. But I think this will be a close game. Philip Rivers is playing well. The Colts have a good rushing attack too. So yeah, the Raiders are also looking good. They've the past 2 or 3 weeks they haven't looked the best. They've been up and down really this season, but they have enough offense to keep this one close. 35-30 Colts. It's my pick. Okay, let's see if the Seahawks can get back on track after they lost to the New York Giants, and I think they can. These teams are going against like the same city in a week. We had the Patriots, who last week went against the Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers, and then this week they're going against the Los Angeles Rams. The Seahawks went against the New York Giants last week, and now they're going against the New York Jets. I think that's on purpose, because I don't know how stuff like that can happen coincidentally. But I think Russell Wilson can get it done. 30-17, it's my pick for this game. The Jets are really struggling. They don't just need Trevor Lawrence. I don't even think they're tanking. They wouldn't lead the game in the third quarter and then lose the game if they're tanking. They wouldn't try so hard. They would lose every game 52-0 if they were tanking. So I don't think the Jets are tanking. I just think they're not very good, and they need kind of a overhaul of the program. 30-17 Seahawks is my pick. Okay, then we have the Packers versus the Lions. The Packers offense has been looking great. They have a good running back with Jones, and Rodgers has looked great. He is probably coming towards the end of his career, though. And I think they can put up a lot of points on a Lions team that's really not the best. They've been up and down this year. 36-27 is my pick. The Packers defense isn't the best. And it's okay. It's definitely not the worst, but I think the Lions can put up enough points with Matthew Stafford. 36-27 is my pick. The Lions will put up some points, but the Packers offense is too good for the Lions. Okay, then we have the Saints versus the Eagles. The Eagles are going to start Jalen Hurts in this game, and so Taysom Hill for the Saints. So two backups here, and we got to see some good Jalen Hurts versus the Packers, but he's going against a better team defensively, probably in the Saints, and yeah, I just don't think he can get that much done versus the Saints in his first year. it takes development for all these rookie quarterbacks. And yeah, I just don't think he can get it done. The Saints, yeah, though they don't have Drew Brees, they still have good running backs, and they've got Taysom Hill, who's pretty good himself. So 26-17 New Orleans is my pick. Next up, we have the Falcons versus the Chargers. And I think this is going to be a close game. Neither of these teams have been looking pretty good. The Chargers do have a good quarterback in Justin Herbert, but the past few weeks he hasn't looked as good. He has been going against some good defenses, though. But I think this is a close game, but just the Falcons' offense is a bit more experienced than the Chargers, and plus the Chargers don't have a very good defense. So 28-0, not nothing, 28-20 is my pick for this one. I said nothing because the Chargers were shut out last week versus the Patriots. Okay, here's an interesting game. Can the Washington football team keep their playoff hopes alive and continue to look better against the 49ers? The 49ers have not looked the best due to injuries. I don't think they can. I think coming off of that emotional win, they're going to be a little too, still the after effects of that game. And this 49ers team, they haven't looked the greatest, but they're definitely not a bad team by any means. So I've got 24-21 for the 49ers. I think Nick Mullins can get enough done to win the game 24-21. Okay, then we have the Steelers versus the Bills. This should be a pretty good game. The Bills have been looking really good recently. The Steelers just lost their first game. And I think the Steelers can get back on track. They'll fix their mistakes. And they've just been looking a little sleepy. Not the best the past few games. The offense has not looked the best. The defense had still looked pretty good. But the offense has really been the main problem, I think. But they'll score enough points. The defense will play well. I'm not saying the Bills are a bad team at all. The Bills are definitely major contenders, and I think they can put up quite a fight to the Steelers. But this should be an excellent game. 27-24 Steelers. It's my pick. Okay, then we have the Monday night game. The Ravens versus the Browns. The Ravens looked great again versus the Cowboys last week, but they are going against a Browns team that is actually looking really good. Baker Mayfield has been looking great. They've got a good rushing attack with Chubb. The defense has done enough to win games. But the Ravens do have a great defense, and their offense has been looking good. If Lamar Jackson doesn't make too many mistakes in this one and runs the football well, along with they've basically got a trio of great running backs with Gus Edwards, you've got J.K. Dobbins, and Mark Ingram, a trio of great running backs, and then Lamar Jackson's kind of a running back himself. So you've got lots of guys that can run the ball really well, and I think that will lead them to a close victory, but this should be a really good game. 28-27, Baltimore is my pick. So that is going to do it for this week of picks. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and check out my other channels. And this is the Sports Spiral. Bye.